Hello everyone, Soccer Bro here, back with another video for you guys. This one's gonna be extra, so I'm gonna be having 2 videos this week. The one that I already had planned, so this is kind of like a vlog, kind of, but it's not a haunted video at all because there's no investigation or anything. I just wanted to come here to visit and everything, and if you could see, I'm at a cemetery, obviously, from the background. I just wanted to come back to visit my grandfather and my other family members who are buried here. I also have a lot of family friends who are buried here. I actually basically grew up in the cemetery, and if you guys can see that there's actually a park over there, well, you guys can't see because of the bushes, but there is a park on the other side. I grew up at that park. It's also raining, so this is perfect weather for this. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but again, this is one of 2 videos that are coming this week. I just thought you guys would like another one. So technically there's not going to be one next week, possibly, considering I recorded 2 videos this week. But again, I hope you guys enjoy it anyways. So this is just going to be me sharing a little bit of my childhood, which I basically kind of already did, but there's more to hear than there is. But I'm going to show you some people who I visit when I come, either sometimes or all the time, but most of the time when I come, I'm basically visiting my family members versus the people who I either know or I used to visit when I was a kid, because my grandmother would visit people randomly. That's where I get it from. So like whenever we go to like cemeteries and stuff like that, you guys know that when I record a video there, if it's a short one for TikTok or if it's a longer one for YouTube, you guys know that I like to visit certain people. Sometimes I feel drawn to it, sometimes I just do it out of pure randomness, but I like to come and pay my respects to people in general, besides either if they're being family or family friends, which are family friends are also technically family too. That's just how I see it, but everybody's different. And also earlier today we went to Outlook Farm. I was there with my mom and my grandmother, and then it was me, because we just wanted to get my grandmother out of the house, so we went there. And then on the ride back, I was kind of bored. And then since we came back to my grandmother's house, I decided to come here to visit, because I have a chance to come and visit, because I can't always do this all the time because I don't live in the same city as my grandmother does. So I'm not in like walking distance as I am all the time, especially from where she lives. This is basically like a mile away or 2 if you're walking. But if you're in a car, it's basically like a 5-minute drive. Also, like, my first school and my church are basically all in the same area. Then, like, this is basically in the back of the school. Same thing with the park. It's not really in the back, it's basically like a street away is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, that's just 3 minutes of the video. Oh, crap. But yeah, I did basically just plop my stuff right next to his grave. So yeah, I basically came to visit Papa. This is Papa's grave. I took his last name. I didn't fully change my last name yet, but still. Because I just prefer him. Plus, I basically grew up as part of the Bro family anyway, so I just think it just makes more sense anyways. But it's nice to visit him. His sister and brother-in-law are buried literally right next to them. My aunt basically died in 2020, so she died like passed away like a year ago or 2 years ago. My uncle passed away in 2014. I was basically in middle school at that point, but she passed away 13th of 2020. Well, Papa basically passed away August 15th. I don't want to step on people, because when you're at a cemetery, and I was told this when I was a kid, so was my sister. So when you walk, you don't walk on top of them, because it's disrespectful. So you try to walk behind the other grave. So if it's facing this way, this is the back, this is the front because it's facing that way. But if it's facing the other way, you try to not walk on people is what I'm saying. So you basically try to walk behind the other graves, and then if you're on the other side, you walk on the back, so you're not walking on top of people, because as I said before, it's disrespectful, and you want to try to be as respectful as you can because you don't want to get haunted. I wouldn't say that this cemetery is haunted, but it's not like I feel any different here anyways, because I've been here basically my whole life. I've been coming here since I was in a stroller. So, like, nothing feels different, but, like, sometimes if you go off and you visit, like, other graves, because graveyards or cemeteries, depending on the cemetery, there are some that are haunted, and then there are some that are basically just a meeting place, because the markers aren't where spirits usually stay unless they're stuck for some odd reason, for something like traumatic or something, but it's usually just a meeting place for the family to be able to reunite, or it's just a meeting place for the spirits and stuff. That's what I believe in. Everybody's different. So yeah. And whenever I can come, I like to visit. We have to clean this off. My aunt actually has stuff to clean this. I do like how this time, whenever I do put rocks on here, they haven't moved them yet, because, well, technically I don't think they have a choice, because they have to move my stones that I leave here anyways when they clean it, and then they forget to put it back. But I just get mad whenever I see them moved every time I haven't had a chance to come back to visit. My grandmother's name is right here. Her maiden name is Martel. So whenever I talk about the Martels, I'm related to them because that's my grandmother's family, which is kind of obvious. Her birthday is the 31st. She was born the same year as Elvis. Papa was born in 1929, so we have both a 29 in our birthday. The only difference is his 29's in the year and mine is on my actual birthday. His name is Amy, which is actually a unisex name, which a lot of people just references as Amy only being a girl's name. That's not true. If you're wondering what's on my hand, I had a band-aid there, that's why, and it's hard to wash that off because I have like a cut there, just so you know. But he died a year before I was born, because I was born basically near the end of 01. He passed the year before. He was only like, he basically turned 70. If he was still alive, he would be 93. Considering the year over there is 1929 for the lady, the wife of the person at this grave is 1929. I can see it better than you guys, but just know it is 1929. She is still living, so she would also be 93. They would be the same age. And also, just so you know, most of the people that are buried here are French, but there's also other people of other nationalities here. There is a cemetery where my mom's best friend is buried, which is closer to our house. And there is a bro there, but they're not related to us. And it's just funny every time we see it, because they also have like a heart like stone too, as we have right here. But yeah, and don'ts. So, family member here. My grandfather is here, and yeah, those are the rocks that I place here because I don't really have money to actually put something here. And another reason why I put rocks here, despite it being like a Jewish tradition. I'm not Jewish. I'm actually Roman Catholic. But I do this because, one, I collect rocks, so I just think it's kind of unique. They're doing it over there too for my aunt and my uncle. Not the same. But my mom made a comment saying that they probably took some of mine and put it on there, and I'm like, No. Even if they did, I would get mad if they did that, but I know for a fact they didn't. So, and then we also have to get him a new flag because it's ripped. And he also liked fishing when he was alive, as well as liking the big cars when he was alive. I got that from him. And I just can't believe that most of my stuff is still here. So I'm going to show you a couple people that I used to visit. I'm going to show you some family friends, and then I'm also going to... My other uncle is buried over there because he was buried in the 70s. So, he wasn't really, like, he was buried when all of everybody in this section didn't exist, or there was still people in the section, but there wasn't much, and it was before they did it alphabetically, because there's a whole area where there's older people from, like, the 1800s and up in the 1700s are buried, like, over in that section somewhere over there. But and then also some of the older ones are also some of the infants, and they have a little small section because in the earlier years ago, it was hard for infants to survive more than they are now, survive birth, which also results in some of my family members also dying at birth as well, which is sad because there would have been more than 14, and I'm speaking from my grandmother's side, my mother's side. Technically it is my mother's side, but also my grandmother's side. And yeah, they had 14 kids because they were farmers. They were dairy farmers, so they needed a bunch of hands, so it was less expensive. Instead of hiring people, they had children, and most of them were buried. The heck, were born in the house, except for their last child, who is the youngest, and she is in Canada. That was all in Canada. My grandfather's family is also in Canada, obviously, because I'm basically Canadian. So there is a story on this little girl that I basically knew about the whole time I was a kid up until now. The reason why she is buried here at so young is because she got ran over by her father's truck when he was backing up. He didn't see her. She was playing in the driveway and she was ran over, And whenever we came to visit my grandfather, who's basically around that area, because he's like diagonal from here, because I could see like the other stone that was like across from his. We came to visit her frequently when me and my sister were younger, and my grandmother, and we would just come here, pray for her, and then we would talk to her, and then we would go back to my grandfather, who's basically diagonal from here, as I said before. I want to see. So the father's still alive, I think, because it says his wife is also still alive. Our beloved daughter, Anne Marie. So she passed away in 2003, but she was born the year that my grandfather passed away. So she is a year older than me, so she would be either 21 or 22, depending on so July 22. She would basically be 22 at this point, because I'm about to be 21, because I'm 20 right now. But that's sad. And plus, it wasn't even on purpose. It was like a total accident. That sucks. Oh, that's sad. They died the same year Papa did. I was reading that one. Alvin. I was reading Alvin. But yeah, whenever we do come here, we would also read the back. Me and my mom have a thing where we would read names, and then we would read when they were born to when they died. Sometimes we would actually put in math and figure out how old they were when they died, but we would know. So he was born a year before my grandmother, because she was born in 35. That's 34. Hold on, now I have to see, because I think that there was someone, I think my aunt was the same age. I have to figure out how to get back over there without walking on people. But yeah, we would literally visit her. She's right there, and pay our respects to her when we were younger. So she's younger than my sister, but she would basically be closer to the same age as me, straight up. And I don't want to make this video too long either. Oh, also, their son died the same year his mother did, but he died before she did, and he's also buried here as well. So, like, there's 3 people buried here, and he is my cousin, by the way. Obviously, if you didn't, like, that was technically obvious, considering I basically called them my aunt and uncle. So yeah, she's also a year older than my grandmother, because 34, 35. There is a family friend who was buried in this area kind of recently, but not my aunt, but like not that recently, but like I was either in 9th grade. I'm not pointing out where he's buried, but he's a family friend. He passed away a while. He was really close with my grandfather. His son married my aunt, so technically they're family, but also not family, if that makes sense. But they're really close to our family, so technically they are family than other family friends. From my experience, I met him. He was a very good man, honestly. And it was sad when he passed away. I was here at his funeral. I do not remember where the heck he's buried, but we could go find him. But first, I want to show you guys where my uncle is buried. Just not gonna walk on people, because like whenever you can walk through the sides, unless the veterans are in the middle, which there's a lot of like vets here. Oh, he died in 2002. That's so sad. Oh, gee, a lot of people died in 2000. That's sad. The year 2000. The 2000s was a happy time, but it was also a sad time for families, because a lot of people did die that year. Mostly of old age, though. Ooh, 57 to 2020. That's a long time. Also, that's a nice year to be born in. Oh, they were born a year after. Wait, no, they died the year after my sister was born, because 8 is before 9. She was born in 1998, and that's 1999. So my sister's basically like a 90s baby, and then I'm over here as like a 2000s baby, basically. Whitehead. You make that a joke every time. No disrespect there, but like that's how a lot of people find where Papa's buried, is because of Whitehead and everything. I'm walking in the middle here, but there's nobody here with their car, so oh well. It's not like I'm gonna get hit by a car. I'm still gonna look around. I'm more aware. Oh, Brianna, if you're watching this, they died the year that you were born. Because that's where the year that they're born, the year that they died. That's sad. There's also a lot of people who were buried here who were dead. They passed away the year I was born, which is 01, as I said before. So this is my uncle. So you guys are seeing the back first, because I walked from all the way over there to over here. 1932 to 1976. His spouse, I have no idea if she's still alive. I don't know if I even met her, but like, I probably did, I just don't remember. But the reason why there's nothing here is either because I think that she remarried, or she's buried somewhere else, or she is still alive. But a lot of times, they would put the birth year, but sometimes if somebody's blank, that can mean a lot of things, by the way. They would put flowers here, but there's stuff growing in there. He doesn't get visited as often. As often as my grandfather does. So his is kind of a little bit dirty, but as you can see, there's a little bit of French right there, La Mire. And it also says Holy Mary and Hail Mary on there. I love the fact that most of the gravestones of my past family members always have like a heart. We always like to do the heart thing or peace sign. But yeah, this is his younger brother because Papa was born in when the year that the stock market crashed, which is in 1929, and then he was born 34, is it? Oh, 32, my bad. I guessed, and I was wrong because you guys saw that before. I totally forgot. I don't want to step on people. So yeah, so it's 32 over here. So let's quickly find Mr. Poulain. That's saying it in French, but the English version is Poulain, but sounds better in French. So the last name is Bro, but it's spelled Brelt, basically. So basically, if people didn't hear the actual like pronunciation of the actual last name, people would basically just say Brelt. Some people actually have said that to us, and it's just hilarious because it's not the right way. Passing Whitehead again. There's Papa and there's my stuff. I gotta keep an eye on that because people do come and grave rob people, and that's not the best. But yeah, there is like basically the majority of people who are buried here are French people. I don't know who these people are. But I remember when their plots were open though. I actually thought that was rosary beads at first, but it's not. Because there's someone who I know over here, but I don't remember who it is. That sounds bad, but I haven't been like visiting everybody in like a long time. So, but I do know he has to be buried around somewhere over here. Because he's buried like diagonal for, you see Papa's stone from the back, which is right there. So he's somewhere like in this area. That's what I have to remember, which I'll see it if it says Poulain, and then I would say his name, but we'll see. Cause I thought he had like, oh, that's so cute. They have a little Mustang there. That's so adorable. Yeah. They must have been, yeah, this is newer, 2021 and 2016. The second one's newer than the other one. I gotta find where it is. Oh, I found it. Okay, good. I found it. Most of the time I could never find it. Or at least not from where, like, Papa's is. I'm just trying not to step on people. I don't like I had, like, a ginormous, like, gap right here, but still. You never know, because sometimes there are unmarked graves, too. So you still gotta be as careful as possible. Mushroom. So yeah, so he passed away in 2015. So yeah, that was when I was in middle school then. So I was close. His wife is buried. No, she's not. She's still alive. I know, she's still alive. She's also the sweetest woman to ever exist, just like my grandmother, by the way. He was also the nicest dude ever as well, from my experience at least. So she buried this, I keep saying that. She's born the same year as my grandma and Elvis. And then Mr. Poulin was born in 1930. He passed away 2015, but Mrs. Poulin is still alive. And she's still the nicest person ever. So let's see what the back looks like. I love how they kind of did like a similar gravestone. It's still granite, no heart shape, but it's still pretty. It's just a daddy long leg there. There's nothing in the back. And plus, sometimes there is nothing in the back, and then they just choose to put it on the front. But a lot of times you just see the name, the last name on the front, and then everything on the back. Because everyone chooses to do it differently, as you can see. There's a lot more newer headstones down here than there is all the way up there. Plus, a lot of times people are, sometimes they just bury people randomly too. So, because they do have it alphabetical by last name. So, like, you would be going by the P, and then B is all the way up there, obviously, and then A is all the way in front, or on the other side. Like, there's different sections because there's so many people buried here. But as before, the older people who have passed away are down there. Also, there's people buried here with like the same last name as my cousin's husband's last name, her new last name. And I make the joke every time we pass by that headstone, and that's like basically when you walk in. I never get tired of making that joke. Only because, again, they share like the same last name. I'm gonna walk. I could go that way, but I'm not gonna step on people. So, go this way. This one's newer. She was just buried. Or the people, whoever, 2 people were literally straight up just buried here. And no, I didn't walk on them. I'm walking like the same point of where that is, but I could be a little bit close there. But this is nice, but you can tell they're fake flowers. It's better if you use real ones, but I get why people go with the cheap ones because it lasts longer. Plus, they'll die during like the winter, so. But still, it's still nicer to like leave something that's actually still alive because it resembles the beauty. They have little rose there. He was buried just recently. He looks familiar though. I probably don't know him. Probably don't, but he just looks familiar, and there's one of the petals. It's such a pretty rose. But you could do something like that, but it's just nicer to leave real ones. Those are alive. Those are alive. Those are fake. Because you're supposed to be remembering their life, because yes, they have passed away, but leaving plants that are alive, it resembles the remembrance of their lives before they passed. You know what I mean? And plus, sometimes there's specific flowers for that, but also kind of like poppies from like Poppy's Playtime, technically. And then there's someone buried down there, which wasn't always there. There's sounds coming from Oh no, the dude's back. Never mind. But it did sound like that there's like shuffling through there. But it could just be squirrels. But anyways, so it's nicer to have real flowers. But I understand the concept of the fake ones. But still, oh my gosh, there's another bro. That's so funny. I just noticed that. Oh Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go look. I know that I'm not related to them because people would have said something. But again, heart shape, and we're not even related. Spiderweb though. Oh wow, crap. September, December. Oh my God, they have the same birthday as me, and they're still alive. Yes. Nice. We share the same birthday. Congratulations. And again, she's a bro, which is funny. And then the R for the middle name, because whenever there's a letter here and there's a dot here, even if it doesn't say anything here, again, that means that they're either still alive or they're buried somewhere else. But this is middle name, because the J that represents my grandfather means Joseph. That's his middle name. Also, that is a nice middle name. Oh, Maddie, if you're watching this, there's a Charles right there. And they're still alive, or they're buried somewhere else. But I still think it's so ironic. I'm gonna come back here and take a photo of that because I feel so happy that we share the same birthday. And this person just passed away. That's sad. 2000 to 22. Oh my God! She's 22 years old and she passed away. Ooh, that's so sad. Oh, that's sad. But yeah, that's important to like celebrate every day of your life because you never know when you're gonna pass away. But she is born the same year as a little girl over there. Still sad. And plus I didn't even notice this when I was walking over here in the first place. I didn't even notice that, and then I was literally walking here in the first place. You find something new every time you have to walk through a cemetery, honestly. They were also born in oh no, crap. They're passed away. I already said that. The spouse, the son and spouse are still alive. Espouse means spouse. It's like a little French term, I think. I don't know, because they could also be a part of like another nationality or something. You never know. 1929 to 2000. I think I already showed that. Man, I miss this place so much. Even if this is a cemetery and it's usually supposed to be like a sad thing, I never feel sad every time I come here. I feel like so happy, but it's probably because I prefer being here than around actual people. Well, these are actual people, but you know what I mean, like alive people. Messier, Lamire, Lafitte. I probably butchered that too. All my stuff is still here. Yay! My wallet's in there. I basically left my bag open and just sitting here this whole time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and a little remembrance of people who were buried here. The little girl's like across from here. You also saw Mr. Poulin's grave, which is a family friend. And we also saw someone who shared the same birthday as me, but is way older. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you really liked this video, I'll probably do another video here later on. But it's just a nice way to spend more time in one of my favorite places. Because I always had like positive memories here. So even if it is a cemetery, I prefer this place versus everybody else. Everywhere else, not everybody else. But yeah, I spent lots of my summers here and my childhood here, so it's kind of ironic. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you later. Again, please like, comment, subscribe. And see you in this same week's video on Monday. Sorry for the long video too. Bye.